You are listening to Chicagoland's finest podcast. The all-new Culture Cast begins now.
I'm Nick.
I'm the Kiwi.
And this is the all-new Culture Cast, back again for another edition, as the Gorhound likes to say. And tonight, Kiwi, what are we talking about?
We are talking about Gotham and the last episode, and I was the season or series as a whole. Gotham,
the Batman prequel show, is on Fox for lasted 5 years. Now, I'm not sure when this episode is going to go up because we actually just had some time here to do it, and we decided to record it. But as of this episode, Kiwi, you're about ready to pop with baby number 2.
Yeah, I'm having a...
So who knows? Maybe we'll have to cut this episode short if Kiwi goes into labor.
Here's hoping.
But I'm sure by the time this episode goes up, baby will be long born. So that's exciting. But as we before we talk about Gotham, let's talk about what have you been watching.
What have you been watching?
Kiwi, what have you?
Ooh, good question. I don't know, QVC, does that count?
You that doesn't count because you have it on like consistently. I don't think it ever just...
It's out in the background.
Yeah, but we have lots of packages from QVC come our way.
I don't know. I only worked a couple days this past week, so, watch most of my stuff on the train.
Didn't you say that you started watching the Michael Jackson documentary?
Oh, I did. Yeah. I watched part 1 or most of part 1. I gotta say, they gave a compelling story. Oh, I did watch Book Club.
Oh yeah, tell us about the cinematic masterpiece that was Book Club.
It was such a great cast, but it just was boring.
What was Book Club actually about? A bunch of older women decided to start a book club and they go on crazy adventures, essentially?
Yeah, it's just about their friendship. They start a book club and, they read the same book and they discuss it and then, their friendship evolved and talks about their, going on their adventure and stuff like that. It was such a great cast because, I'm a fan of everyone in there. But,
who was in the cast?
Diane Keaton, Mary Steinberg, Candice Bergen, Jane Fonda. But, it was boring. It didn't do anything. I'm like, ugh, such a great cast.
They all got paychecks. That's why they... we both recently saw a big movie that just came out.
Oh, yeah, we did.
The first movie we saw since our first child was born was Avengers Endgame.
And she's almost 17.
Yes, so it's been almost a year and a half since we've seen a movie in theaters.
In the theaters, we have gone to Redbox a couple times.
Once or maybe twice, but we've watched movies on...
we wait till they come out on Netflix.
Netflix or Prime or something.
It's like months later. I don't know how long it took us to see Black Panther.
When it came on Netflix, I think we watched it. I got Spider-Man Homecoming at Redbox. We need to see that other Spider-Man, the animated one that won best animated.
Yeah, Chris Pine's in.
He is in. I know you're a big Chris. Well, we got the Star Trek movie we can watch.
I will watch them. I saw
but in order to best understand them, you need to watch all the other ones first.
Well, you showed me a couple of Star Treks.
No, I showed you one, and you're like...
It felt like...
because
it was... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done. So what did you like Avengers Endgame?
I did. And I will say it was a long movie, but it didn't feel like it was 3 hours. People were right about that. And I didn't have to get up to use the bathroom, which I'm, very pregnant. So I just assumed by the time the movie got done, I was going to have to rush off to the bathroom. But I actually wasn't with myself.
I'm applauding.
I dehydrated myself before I went to the theater.
Right.
No, actually, I did.
Hey.
Yeah.
What was funny was that you, we know it's going to be a long movie, and you decided to get a soda, like a jumbo-sized soda.
Well, I got the medium, which was still
Well, medium for a theater is like jumbo-sized for...
But I think I drank maybe a third of it.
That might be true, but still, I remember you...
Because I was like, I don't want...
You're like, Nick, can I get a soda?
It's a 3-hour movie. I was going to get thirsty. And I didn't chug it. So, there.
I like the movie. It's a little long. I have a couple questions I have about it, but that's another thing for another podcast. Do you have a man crush of the week?
Yes.
Chris Pine.
Shut up. Yeah. I'm sorry. He's a good...
Remember when that Outlaw King, they advertised Chris Pine does full frontal, and there's like it's only like one frame.
That was so disappointing.
It's like one frame, and he's like way in the distance.
I know, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, he did full frontal.
Well, I have some sad news to report. Grumpy Cat has died.
Oh yeah, that was all in the news.
This episode is dedicated to Grumpy Cat.
How much? Oh my god! Did they say that cat was worth like $100 million or something like that?
That's insane.
It was a lot of money. I was like, oh man.
Why can't our cats become? I'm sure Indiana, who's sitting there like over there, I'm sure she could do something.
She'll lick you.
Aggressive. I just want to love you.
Yeah, and when we say aggressive, we mean aggressive, and not like she's mean. She's just
like she likes to.
She's determined to lick you.
She's gotten better since she was a kitten.
Okay.
So I guess we'll get to our topic. The TV show Gotham recently wrapped up its 5th season on Fox, which I'm amazed it kind of lasted as long as it did, because it was always one of those shows on the bubble. But you and I, we were fans of the show since the beginning. We remember we sat down and watched the first episode together.
We did. That's when we were dating.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, I will say this. I'm happy that at least they knew that the series was going to end and that it was able to conclude.
Yeah. They decided to, they knew well enough in advance to wrap it up.
Didn't get a full season, but...
No. And they probably could have used an extra episode or two to wrap up some things, because it got, like, really, really... Some things happened a little bit too quickly for...
Yeah.
The final episode, which was titled The Beginning, it was also the series 100th episode. Well, 100th aired, not necessarily... but takes place 10 years later... Well, for those of you who don't know, I don't know who listens to this show. The Gotham is essentially a Batman origin story. Like before, like Bruce Wayne is like a teenager in the series. All the villains aren't villains yet, and the series was supposed to progress. And then the final episode took place 10 years after the previous episode. So, Commissioner Gordon is looking to retire. He's like, I'm done. Let someone else do it. The Penguin's getting out of prison after being in there for a number of years. Riddler escapes, and this new masked vigilante starts popping up. And that's kind of the crux of it. I think they try to blow up. Someone tries to blow up Wayne Tower. Who wanted to blow up Wayne?
They blew up Wayne.
No, the new one.
Oh, that's right. I was saying Jeremiah.
Oh, that's right, Jeremiah. Who they couldn't call Joker. Like legally, they can't call the character the Joker on Gotham because they don't. I don't know, some crazy rights issue. So they kind of like bounced around it, but let's just call him Joker. Yeah, because Joker wanted to do it for whatever reason. Probably because he had a connection to Bruce Wayne.
Though, he should have just died in the previous episode. They basically said he was brain dead for years. And then suddenly he's not, and he has this whole scheme that he's gonna blow up Gotham Towers. It was kind of like, they didn't need to have the last episode, in my opinion. They could have just left it the way it was.
I guess they said he was faking brain death, which I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, you get hooked up to equipment, they'll tell you if your brain...
we shouldn't look at logic for this show, because this show is pretty insane.
I know, the things they do, but honestly though, the whole 10 years later thing, it was kind of a letdown compared to the rest of the season or series.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on it. On one hand, it was kind of cool to see what people normally would think of as Batman. The villains are doing villainous things, and Batman's in the shadows. It kind of gave us a taste of what a legitimate Batman. But for a final episode, it felt like a tack on. Here's an epilogue.
Yeah.
Just here's what's gonna be. There were no arcs or character things that were wrapped up other than Gordon decided to stay on as commissioner. You don't really see Batman in the episode.
No.
Except the very, very end.
Because the kid still played Batman, right? Or did they...
Well, so I read a couple of... David Mazouz, who I thought his name was always pronounced David, but apparently it's David. Who played young Bruce Wayne. He's at the very beginning of the episode, and then he goes on his adventure. At the end of the episode, when you finally see Batman in his suit, it's a stuntman, but I guess they CGI'd his face on
Which we didn't really see his face, though, right?
No, but you could tell they that jaw line. That was totally him. But I don't think it was actually him in the suit. For similar, the actress that they had play Selena Kyle for most of the series was not in the final episode. They recast her with someone older at the age.
But the thing is, they also made her a lot taller, which at
Yeah.
that point in her life, women stopped getting taller.
Yeah.
And they made her noticeably taller.
She definitely... I'd have to go back and to look at it closer, but... Yeah, the actress who played Catwoman was not that tall in the series.
Mm-mm.
And she was, what, 18, 19 by the time the series ended, thereabouts?
Yeah.
And then 28, 29, she did seem significantly taller. Let's just say that.
Okay. Her height aside, she did... You would think that they could be related.
Yeah, they definitely had the actress look like the younger actress. So it's Lily Simmons played the older Selina Kyle. So yeah, we had that with the older Selina Kyle, who had a moment with Bruce Wayne, but it was very, very brief. The final episode felt like a first episode. Like if they said, we're doing a Batman show, and they made that the first episode, it felt like that.
Except the whole Joker, Jeremiah thing. I mean, unless you didn't know, like, how... I mean, he fell in a vat of acid. How did you survive?
To be fair, that's Joker's origin. And Jack Nicholson, the same thing happened in Batman.
But I have a...
Well, okay, you can contact Bob Kane and Bill Finger, who wrote that story back in the 1930s, and be like, hey...
1930s? Really?
Yeah. Batman this year is celebrating his 80th, so, yeah. So you can tell them, say, hey, you guys...
I just may. I'll put them in their place.
They're both dead.
Wait, 80th? This is 90.
Batman was created 80 years ago. 39, 49, 59, 89, 99, 2009, 8. I'm sorry.
And I'm pregnant.
You gotta run with it. It's a comic book. I mean, okay, let's look at Gotham. Falling in a vat of acid is the least of this show's craziness. Let's look back. Look at the character of Barbara. She's been electrocuted. She was erected. She was a socialite. She became insane. She wanted to kill people.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, like you're fine with that. Oh, look at Butch. Look at Butch. He was shot in the... Was he shot in the... No, when he died, he was shot in the head. But when he died the first time, then he came back as like the monster. Mm-hmm. And then he was cured of that. I mean, this show has a lot of craziness going on that... Surviving a vat of acid is the least of the show's problem. At least of the show's believability.
Possible.
But yeah, the final episode of Gotham was entertaining. It actually got me pumped for like, oh, I want to see it like a Batman show now with this cast. But in terms of like an ending for Gotham, it didn't really wrap up anything that the previous episode.
I know it.
But the previous episode didn't really feel like a final episode.
How many episodes were in this season?
I believe there were 12 episodes.
Because they really rushed Barbara's pregnancy.
Yes. So in this season, the character of Barbara has a child with Commissioner Gordon, and throughout the 12 episodes, her pregnancy goes big. And if you're just watching the show by itself, it seems like they went by really fast. But when I was looking some stuff up online, it gives like the dates like the No Man's Land, day 90, day 100, day whatever.
Oh, did it?
Like if you look up like exterior sources, which they don't mention in the show, going by that, then yes, like weeks and months pass between episodes.
Which, in the beginning of the season, we know there's a food shortage.
Right.
And, like, how did this food shortage get solved? And still, because they're like, oh, we only have food for a couple more weeks. Well, you're there, like, a year?
Yeah. Well, I thought they did explain that. Didn't, like, Bruce Wayne's people have...
Yeah, but the helicopter got shot down.
Maybe they got more? I don't know. Again, don't think about it too. You're too critical, Kiwi.
Some critical too.
Lately, you've been like super critical.
I'm pregnant.
Okay. Yeah, see, I pull up the Wikipedia page. You see, like, the first episode is 87, 88, 95, 96, 7, 98, 103, 215. So, like, from between episodes 7 and 8, it was like a 3-month time gap.
Wait, where you look?
That's the episode 95.
Oh, right there,
in
103.
the summary.
Yeah, 25016, yeah.
So there's like...
It definitely felt like a large gap sometimes.
And yeah, like between episode 9 and 10, there was 216, 390.
Yeah.
Yeah, they, I think they would have solved the problem if they put like the date, like day 391 on the screen. So you could like kind of follow along. Yeah. I did like how, looking back at Gotham overall, I did like how they intertwined all the villains and the storylines And it has almost a Game of Thrones feel, in the sense that you have a lot of bizarre storylines going along, but they don't necessarily intersect with one another. But down the line, they do kind of have some weaving in and out. Like, there's so many times that Penguin and Riddler were doing something that had nothing to do with what Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And then every now and again, their lines would just kind of like cross paths and then
I see that.
go on their way. I'm not saying the plotting in the show is as intricate as Game of Thrones is, but it had that sort of vibe.
Was the Mad Hatter or
He was in the season, but I don't think he was in the last episode.
I remember what happened.
He was in the episode where Jeremiah fell in the acid because Jeremiah had those actors, those people look like Bruce Wayne's parents, and they were being controlled with his thing.
Yes.
So that's when. So he did pop up briefly, but he was not in the last episode. What did you think of Penguin in the last episode?
Oh yeah, he had put on weight.
Or they just put a fat suit on.
Right.
Which
He
I don't know how
more like the tradition.
Right, with the top hat and the long cigarette and
the monocle.
The monocle, which they set up nicely in the episode previous when like that the thing like bursts in his face and he turns to Riddler. Does it look bad? And Riddler's like, no, starts throwing up.
I did like the friendship between Riddler and Penguin. It definitely had its ups and downs.
I would love to see a series with just the two of them like riffing on one another, because
I would watch that.
They were a lot of fun. Like, they were friends, but they know that they're willing to betray each other in
Yes, and
you know what was weird? In the second to last episode, Penguin and Riddler were like, forget all the people in Gotham. You and me, we're going to rule it all. And they're like, yes. And then like 10 years later, the next episode, it's like, oh wait, no, but they were actually arrested the next day. Sorry, LOL. They haven't seen each other.
yeah, because Riddler was in Arkham and Penguin was jail.
Was Penguin in regular jail? Okay,
yeah, because he was getting out of jail. And sorry. And what Jeremiah got Riddler out of Arkham.
Because he was supposed to be the fall guy for the bomb going.
Yeah, I wish Gotham could have continued, but the way like they wrapped it up.
I think if they focus more on what happened in the previous episode, where they save Gotham, Barbara goes straight, Jim becomes commissioner, they raise the kid. If they extended that a little bit more, then maybe the show would have felt more like, okay, this is the conclusion. Bruce Wayne's going off to do his training, and I don't know. But then if you did that, the fans would be upset that, oh, we've wasted 5 years and we didn't get to see Batman at the end.
Well, they still could have tied it. Just, which I do have a problem with the last season in general. I know loophole, the criticism, but like, how do they survive on food for like?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch this.
I feel like they left that, and then Lee was gone. She only came back.
I wonder if she was gone, if the actress, because they brought her. That was weird. They don't. So at the end of season 4, Lee and Riddler shoot one another, and presumably both die. And it's revealed in season 5 that Riddler was kidnapped by
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, not the Marvel Doctor, but the DC Doctor, and to be like an enemy agent. And I feel they did something with Lee.
She was like, I don't want to say like she was on ice, but like they kind of had her on reserve for if the Riddler plan went south. Which
so like she was
controlled too.
Because Gordon did something to her, like he zapped her. But yeah, it was weird that she just like they didn't really acknowledge that they had died and were brought back. But
they didn't bring Falcone.
No, she's presumably still in the coma from season 3 or 4. Whenever
4
was it? 4?
Yeah, because
they blend together after
she died like
Sophia.
in the same episode where Riddler and Lee shot each other.
Did she last that long?
I swear it was the same episode. Someone call in the show.
No, her, because I think the back half of season 4 had the Ra's al Ghul and Jeremiah trying to blow up the city. I think she was the first half of the season.
If anyone's listening to the show that watches Gotham,
I'm trying to look up.
You could go to IMDb and look up the episode and see who was actually listed in. Because I thought like they were like in the restaurant, because that's how Lee Falcone.
Well, I know in the last episode that's when Lee and Riddler shot each other. Sure. Well, regardless, she was. Let's see. Yeah, she had the Professor Pig, Gordon, Leslie Tubbs, Sophia and Gator. Sophia engages Gordon.
It's not a podcast without a dog.
Thompson shoots. So Lee shot Sophia.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was at the end of this.
Okay.
It doesn't make it different. But yeah, they didn't bring her back. You didn't really need her. But the main villain of the season was a take on Bane.
We didn't, but
I guess her plot was over. If they brought her back, it would just be a revenge story against Gordon. Which, she could have been the villain in this one, because we did have a surprise villain at the end. Bane was like the muscle, and then it turned out to be Nessa Ghul, who's the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, who, as a fun trivia fact, in the Arrow TV series, that character is in that show, but she's a good guy character.
Oh, and we saw her at Hero Villain Con.
She was at Hero Villain Con. She was played by Katrina Law. So it's interesting they have competing versions of the character on the different, more of a hero character on that. And that's another thing. She ran away. Her character escaped. Nessa.
Oh, wait, she got away in the submarine.
In the submarine that with a penguin's dog. See, I thought for sure Penguin's dog was going to bite and attack her or something, because they just kind of he kept having that dog all season long. And I thought there was going to be some payoff. No, she just presumably ran off with the dog. And Penguin didn't. What else you got in mind here? Thinking about? Well, Netflix has all the Star Trek. You can start watching. There's a new Picard show coming out. It's actually called Picard. Because nothing says about going forward in a franchise
than going
back to, remember this, folks? You got Patrick Stewart. He's old now. Oh. Yeah. So, Gotham has had a lot of ups and downs. It started as a police procedural that happened to be in the Batman universe. Then they realized that wasn't working, so then they went balls to the wall crazy with anything they could think of.
They did. It was it's going to be our last year? Maybe, so let's just make it as crazy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah. You had earlier in the season 5, for example, you had Lee, who was in labor, in a wheelchair. I'm sorry, no. Barbara, who was in labor wheelchair, with 2 Uzis just firing down as Lee ran her down the hallway. It's insane. Is that how you're going to give birth in a couple of days here?
I hope so. A couple hours.
Anything's possible. Are we going to name our child Batman? How about we split the difference? Batgirl. How about we name her Selena?
Oh, Catwoman.
Or we just call her Catwoman.
Meow. We'll call her Cat for sure.
Famali.
What's her? Catherine?
It's
Catwoman.
just Cat. Yeah.
Catwoman. Roll call. Catwoman. Meow.
Meow. It's a gender neutral. I'm looking at the list here. They had a lot of guest stars this past season where they really...
Shane West.
Shane West
was... Shane... What has he been up to?
Not much. He was, he played Bane, or a version of Bane. We had Poison Ivy, who that character went through a lot of evolution throughout the series.
Most, if you look at things on a whole, most of them are mad.
It's true.
I mean, look at Barbara, which when we were at Hero Villain Con, we heard Donald...
Logue?
Logan?
Who played Harvey Bullock.
He had said this podcast how her kills got ran off.
Right.
And so she kept getting each season. Goes back to Gordon. She gets pregnant. Has his Butch lost his hand.
Yeah.
And then he died.
He became the Salmon Grundy, the monster.
And then he
was fixed. And then Penguin killed him.
And then even the Brit was taken. He kind of almost teetered on.
Because he started off as not police officer, but the medical officer at the police station. Mm-hmm. That was just, a weirdo that was annoyed that he killed his would-be girlfriend's boyfriend, then killed his girlfriend. And why did he kill his girl? Because she found out that he was bad? Or something? The blonde girl in the first season that he had a crush. Yes, Miss Kringle. Miss Kringle, that was it.
But he didn't...
Oh, wait. Did Penguin kill her?
But he killed...
Yeah, the second one...
And Riddler killed the first.
Riddler did kill the first.
Yeah. So I think she discovered something about him. Did he hurt, I'm gonna...
Maybe he slipped up and said something about the ex-boyfriend that he killed.
Yes, that was
and it. And she put it together.
Yes. I don't know if the...
Well, he started off as a nothing to Fish Mooney.
Her story never really got wrapped.
She died.
No, but didn't... wasn't the one of the last seasons...
She died for sure, because she... At the end of the first season... At the end of the first season, Penguin pushed her off the dam. But in the second season, she came back with powers because Doctor Strange resurrected her. And then she ran off there, and she came back briefly in season 3, and she was killed by the I can't remember, but I remember they were she was helping Gordon. She agreed to help Gordon.
She did die.
They killed her, yes.
You need to go back and watch this.
I think it's on Netflix.
I'll have time.
Yeah. I mean, there's like so much that happens that it's hard to keep.
Bullock had kind of teetered too.
He was like a lazy cop. That was his thing. And like Gordon made him be like, he saw the errors. He's like, all right. Because he was he played like the typical Gotham cop who was like on the take, would look the other way. He like told Gordon, kill Penguin, because that's how these things are doing. Well, Fish Mooney probably would have taken over the mobsters. It's tough. You gotta watch the show again and again to actually follow it. One other thing I didn't get about the final episode is what's his name? Mayor
Oh yeah, he came back.
He came back in the last episode. Was it Mayor James? Is that it? I feel that might have been it. Yeah, well, the character actor, Richard Kind. Yeah, Aubrey James. That was his.
Yeah.
I don't know how he still has his job, especially in the previous episode. It was a different mayor. Now, 10 years later, it can happen elections, but like he originally lost the election to Penguin, and then he was kidnapped, and then he was run out of town, and he got his mayor job back, and then he was voted out. It was insane. Like, still maintain a job. Like, the voters, that could be still Gotham. I don't know. I think we're kind of all over the place, but
well, so was Gotham. Only fitting.
That's true. Do you have any final thoughts on Gotham?
I highly recommend everyone watch Gotham, but be kind to the last.
You really didn't like the last season.
I liked the last season, but it was really different the first.
Right. They tried to do a little bit of a.
It kind of was, and I know they know ending. It wraps up. It does conclude, but okay, they should have changed the last episode, make it run in.
What would you do differently?
They could focus on like Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman. The last few scenes like showed him to Gotham and like fighting the versus how they.
You didn't need like 10 years of 10 years later,
because then you would be like, oh yeah, they could have said that in the second to last episode, like 10 years later, like flash on the screen, and then Batman bad guy. I need to have a whole episode 10 years later.
No, I have no thoughts on that.
They could have made like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have like a double length episode or something, but maybe it wasn't in the budget.
Yeah, but they could have got rid of the last, and then the second and a half would have felt like.
It'd be tough to do an hour and a half. I have no final thoughts. I thought Gotham was a show. It wasn't like strictly exactly like the comics.
Wait, did you say you have no?
On the final episode. In general, it was a fun show. Don't go in expecting high art or plot line, but it was fun. I like the villains. I like Penguin. I like Riddler. They were fun to watch for the seasons. It was almost like a comedy when they were on the.
I would love. I know you mentioned an episode to see a spinoff of Shame on Robin.
Well, it was Easter weekend. Maybe he was shooting scene episode. Oh, you're not fat. You could have dressed up like. Hey, by the time this goes up, you won't be pregnant. No Game of Thrones spoilers because the final episode hasn't ended this date. I did, so it all comes together.
Leaves in and out.
Yeah, just like an episode. Yeah, show me on the doll with 2 plot lines. She's giving me a silent. She still is. All right, well, let's wrap this bad boy up. So, do you have any final thoughts?
Give Gotham a shot.
There you go. All right, I think that'll do it. Half-baked episode, I guess. I'm Nick.
I'm the Kiwi.
This has been the all-new Culture Cast. We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the all-new Culture Cast, where every episode is all new. Check out new episodes and our back catalog at allnewculturecast.libsyn.com. We could also be found on iTunes. The all-new Culture Cast, a Saltwater production, copyright 2019. Thanks for listening.